as well as ESPN1007.com. 2 minutes and we're back. Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas. Heath Atkins here alongside Amber Atkins and Austin Souter, our cameraman. Well, the Raiders trail 24-15 as we enter the halftime intermission. And I'm going to give you a little bit of around the area action. Baxter Springs visits Erie. Cherryville is at Columbus. Galena is at Lamar. And Riverton is at Oswego. Thursday, Lacine Prairie View will be here in Frontenac. On Friday the 14th, Columbus will be at Riverton, and Colgan will be at Baxter Springs. That's a little bit of the CNC League composite basketball schedule over the course of this week. And as far as our broadcast schedule here at the MyTown Media Radio Network, today we have this game on 103.5 as well as ESPN 1007.com. Pittsburgh High is hosting Parsons. That's Shelby White with play-by-play, Avi Sharma with the color commentary and the camera. Day after tomorrow, as I said, Frontenac will host Prairie View. Pittsburgh High on Friday will host Chanute. Colgan that same Friday will host Baxter Springs. By the way, that Pittsburgh High and Chanute game will be Avi Sharma on the play-by-play on ESPN 1007 or 100.7 on the radio dial. And St. Mary's Colgan versus Baxter Springs will be Shelby White with the play-by-play on Fox Sports 1340 AM and 107.9 FM. We'll take you through the scoring summary here for the first half of action for the Frontenac Raiders. Leading all Raiders is Abby Butcher. She had 5 points in the second quarter alone. As I make my little halftime line. Maddie Davis has 3. Hipfel has 1. Reagan Hipfel has 1. Grayson Hipfel has 4. And Caitlin Sellers with 2, both in the first quarter. For Louisburg, a number of different scorers, but actually 5 different scorers, 3 of which did the majority. Buffington had 2 in the first quarter. Diedrich has 6 altogether, 3 in the first, 3 in the second. Moore had 2 in the first quarter and 4 in the second to combine for 6 as well. And leading all scorers is Madeline Helton with 7. And Lemke also added 3 in the second to total up to 24-15 that we have right now as we get ready to enter the second half of play. Right now the boys in their shoot-around, in their pregame shoot-around. We're going to take a 3-minute break. When we come back, we will get you prepped and ready for the second half of action here in Frontenac, Kansas. You are listening to ESPN 1007.com as well as Radio X 103.5, The Evolution, back in 3 minutes here in Frontenac, Kansas. Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas. Heath Atkins alongside scoreboard technician Amber Atkins and Austin Souter, our cameraman, as well as Jacob Ryan back in studio pushing all the buttons and keeping us on the air. We enter the final minute of the halftime intermission between the Louisburg Wildcats and the Frontenac Lady Raiders. On the court for the Lady Raiders, we have Reagan Hipfel, Maddie Davis, Bria Ginnivan, Abby Butcher, and Karma Fields. For the Lady Cats, Brooklyn Diedrich, Elise Moore, Madeline Melton, Aaron Lemke, and Carson Buffington. The final 10 seconds tick down, and we are ready to start. Once again, Lady Raiders are down by 9, 24-15. Scott Fields in the middle of his huddle right before they begin the second half of action. And the Lady Raiders will get the ball first. Giving the inbounds pass will be Reagan Hipfel. She'll find Abby Butcher. Butcher is picked up by some close defense by Elise Moore. And active hands on defense for the Wildcats results in a turnover. And they are streaking down the court, get an outlet pass to Buffington. Buffington tries the three ball and cannot get it, but gets her own rebound, drives into the paint, and is blocked away by Bria Ginnivan. Ball is finally reeled in by Reagan Hipfel. Now in the hands of Abby Butcher in the right wing. A pass over intended for the left wing, and Karma Fields batted away, and Maddie Davis picks up the ball and takes it from the free throw line, a jumper. That's 2 points to start the first, or the second half of action, rather. Davis has 5 on the night after her three-point performance in the first half. 24-17 is the score. Ball at the top of the key in the hands of Buffington. Over in the left, it's Melton. She's picked up by Butcher. Skip pass to Buffington once again. I'm sorry, yeah. Yeah, definitely Buffington, and now Lemke at the top of the key. Louisburg, a very lengthy team. Lots of their young ladies definitely outsize the Lady Raiders. Shot from the right wing, Brooklyn Diedrich nails it, no rim necessary. And that gives her 3 points in the second half, 9 points altogether. Inside pass to Davis to Fields. Fields from the left wing, three, knocks it down and gets the and one. Karma Fields did not get any scoring going in the first half, but here she is in the second half, knocking it down from distance. And she will go to the line for the and one opportunity. Score is 27-20, a 7-point advantage for the Lady Cats, trying to make it 6 here by Fields. Fields swishes her shot in. She has 4 points on the night now. And Diedrich picks up her third personal foul on that, and Maddie Davis picks off the outlet pass to get it past the half-court line. Just lays it in with her right hand. And the Lady Raiders, with a fire lit underneath them, now are only down by 4, 27-23. 6 minutes flat left to go here in the third quarter. Foul on the floor, so shot is no good by Moore. Reagan Hipfel will pick up her second personal foul. Team's first of the half. And a inbounds pass that resulted in a deep shot from beyond the arc. Does not draw a rim, and instead will be picked up by the Lady Raiders. Bria Ginnivan in the right wing, left alone. She thought about the three-pointer and will not take it. It's Karma Fields at the top of the key. She is picked up by Moore. Bria Ginnivan pulls in from just inside the three-point line, cannot connect, almost gets her own rebound, but it's Lemke with the ball as she crosses the half-court line. Long pass inside the three-point line, and it's Diedrich who knocks it in for two. Diedrich has 5 points in the half, 11 points on the night. She leads all scorers. Maddie Davis to Karma Fields. Now Butcher from three-point land, swivels it around the rim and cannot connect, and it's Buffington with the rebound. She takes it across the half-court line and is picked up by the defense, or rather an attempted charge by Abby Butcher. No whistle. So Buffington gets 2 points on that relatively easy full-court press offense. Full-court press break offense, rather. Buffington hadn't scored since the first quarter. She has 4 points now as the Lady Cats lead 31-23. 4:46 left to go here in the third quarter. Foul on the floor. No foul. Bria Ginnivan will give a pass to Davis. Davis from right outside the elbow. And it's saved by Butcher. Put in by Bria Ginnivan. Ginnivan gets the and one opportunity as well. A lot of these Lady Raiders fighting through contact on their shots and are getting sent to the line as a result. 31-25 now the score. Ginnivan puts in those two and getting ready for the three-point play. It's Ginnivan's first 2 points of the game, and she adds a third. By the way, picking up that foul was Moore. That's her, I'm sorry. No, it was, Ashley Moore. That's her first personal foul. It's the first time she's been in the game thus far. Karma Fields picks up a foul on the floor as well. That's her third personal, team's second of the half. Top of the key, it's Buffington. Inside pass. And trying to fight through contact. Looked like she may have gotten away with a walk there, but nonetheless, it's Madeline Melton. Gets her first 2 points, and Reagan Hipfel picks up her third personal foul, team's third of the half. And one opportunity, rocks off the rim and goes back in. So Melton, 10 points on the night. And a turnover by the Lady Raiders. In a full court press attempt, the Lady Cats do break the full court press. A pass to Buffington off the stutter step. Inside, it's picked off by Maddie Davis, and she's all alone streaking up the court, up and off the glass. Easy 2 points for Maddie Davis, and the Lady Raiders bring it in within 6, 34-28. 3:55 left to go in the third quarter. Ball in the hands of Buffington. As I need to track down these 2 points for Davis. She has 9 now on the night. Top of the key, it's Buffington again. She is picked up by Butcher. Left wing, it's Lemke. Bria Ginnivan gets a hand on the ball, but it's still reeled in by the Lady Cats. Now top of the key, it's Buffington. Timeout is going to be called, a 30-second timeout by Louisburg. We'll take it with them. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on ESPN 1007.com as well as Radio X 103.5, The Evolution. (34-28) is the score. Lady Raiders down by 6 points with 3:25 left to go. And just as I say that, Madeline Melton, knocks in 2 more points. She has 12 now. Grayson Hipfel checks into the ballgame. She's going to give Karma Fields a rest. Frontenac has the ball on their own baseline. Maddie Davis with the inbounds pass. She thought about lobbing it over the top to Ginnivan. Instead, she's going to get it over the top to Meyer. Attempted pass over to the left wing is interrupted, I would say, by the Lady Cats. And Hipfel tried to reel it in on her own and it still ends up rolling out of bounds. Buffington in the right wing off the inbounds. And now it's Diedrich fighting for her life, trying to get away from the intense defense of Bria Ginnivan. Buffington drives with the right hand over to the right side of the far side of the court. A foul on the floor. And Meyer will pick up her third personal foul, team's fourth of the half. In the game for the Lady Raiders, Caitlin Sellers. And a backcourt violation on the Lady Cats will give the Raiders the ball. Inbounds pass from Meyer over the top to Davis behind the half-court line. She is picked up by Moore. Now Meyer driving with the left hand, gets it inside to Sellers. Sellers to Davis. Davis off the glass and inside for 2 points. 36-30. The Raiders have brought it back within 6. 2:30 left to go here in the third quarter. Davis putting on a show here in the third quarter. Driving inside, putting it up and off the glass. A little bit of a redemption for that lapse in defense she had was Elise Moore. Moore puts 2 more on the scoreboard for the Lady Cats. She has 8. Pocket is picked of Lemke, and the Lady Raiders have the ball once again on their side of the court. It's Maddie Davis at the top of the key. Davis is picked up by Moore. Handoff to Ginnivan, skip pass to Hipfel. Grayson Hipfel lost control, and it will roll out of bounds. Wildcat basketball. 1:50 left to go here in the third, 38-30. It's an 8-point deficit for the Raiders to overcome. Kane checks in for the Cats. Inbounds to Moore, and then Melton. Melton with a bounce pass to the left wing. Hankinson. Now on the far side of the court, Buffington to Moore. Back to Buffington. Raiders playing in a man-to-man defense, and Meyer got right up in the face of Buffington. A foul on the floor. This one will go against the Lady Raiders. That'll be on Abby Forrest. 38-30, 1:30 left to go here in the third. Louisburg ball. And a great safety help by Moore on the outside, covering that high pass. Buffington gets a little bit of a push off of Meyer, but no whistle blown. Now top of the key is Buffington. She tries the 3, and it just goes in and right back out. Shot is no good. Score still 38-30. 1:12 on the clock. Lady Raiders with the ball as they cross the half-court line. It's Meyer. Meyer is picked up by Buffington. Inside pass to Davis. Kick out to Forrest. Back into Davis. Davis runs around, and she's going to be whistled on the traveling violation. Took a couple too many steps on that possession. 1 minute left here in the third, and the score is 38-30. The Lady Cats up by 8. Moore has the ball. She gets it to Hankinson. Now Buffington in the right wing. Quite a ways away from the three-point line. Inside, and that's Kane. Kane puts it up, and it is interrupted or blocked, rather. Can't tell. I think that's a foul on the floor. And they will call that a foul on the floor. That's against Caitlin Sellers. That's her first personal. Team 6th of the half. 40 seconds left to go. And Carson Buffington gets an easy inbound and score. She has 6 points on the night now. Lob pass over the top to Sellers. Sellers gets it to Forrest. Forrest drives the baseline, is met by 2 defenders. Now to Meyer. Meyer from just outside the elbow and knocks it down. 40-32 is the score. That's Meyer's first score of the ball game as we enter, or near the fourth quarter, rather. Moore drives in with some fancy footwork, puts up the floater, and is unable to connect. 9.2 seconds, 40-32. Raiders still down by 8. It's been kind of a teeter-totter this whole third quarter. Neither team really making more than a 2-point push at a time. Moore is at the free throw line off the foul by Caitlin Sellers. It's 2 attempts. First shot is no good. Need to record that second foul by Sellers. Team's 7th, by the way. Second shot by Moore is underway. 9.2 seconds. This ball is live. Shot is up. And off the back iron, no good. Rebounded by Louisburg. It's put up off the glass and rebounded by Sellers. Maddie Davis with the final shot attempt. That is up, and it is no good. And that is how we will end the third quarter of action. Well, 24 minutes of play have gone by, and we are going to take a 1-minute break when we return with the fourth half of action. You're listening to ESPN1007.com and Radio X 103.5. Welcome back for the final quarter of regulation here in Frontenac, Kansas, between the Louisburg Lady Wildcats and the Frontenac Lady Raiders. Score is 40-32. Raiders trail by 8. Ball in the hands of Diedrich in the right wing. Inside pass to Moore. Moore streaking up the court. Shot is no good, but she is sent to the line on a foul on Maddie Davis. Davis's second personal foul. Moore already in this contest with 8 points, looking to make it 9, and she does. And possibly entering double digits here with this second free throw attempt. Score is 41-32. Chance to make it a 10-point lead for the Lady Cats upon this make. Second shot is up and no good off the back iron. Moore gets her own rebound. The Lady Cats are back on attack, and a traveling violation is going to be whistled on Moore. So score is still 41-32, 7:30 left in regulation. Heather Arnett in the ball game. Abby Butcher finds Davis. Back to Arnett in the left wing. Back to Butcher in the right. Inside pass to Davis. Outlet to Fields. Fields for three and knocks it down. Karma Fields did not score until the second half, and since then she has scored 7. In the left wing, it's Lemke. Lemke gets it to Buffington at the top of the key. Inside to Moore. Moore with a power dribble and a robbery off the rim, but we as Frontenac fans will take it. And Maddie Davis gets the rebound. Maddie crosses the half-court line and gets it to Butcher. Butcher skip past to Arnett, inside to Hipfel. Hipfel finds Maddie Davis. Davis up and no good, but a foul on the shot will send Davis to the free throw line. That foul will be on Moore, and that's her third personal. If I can find her here. It's her third personal. Davis' first shot is up and in. Her first score of the new quarter. 41-36. Frontenac down by 5, 6:45 left to go here in the fourth. Davis with her second shot opportunity from the free throw line, the charity stripe. High arcing shot off the front of the rim, no good. And Louisburg back on the attack. Over in the right wing, it's Diedrich. Diedrich loses control. They're going to call that a push. Yeah, they're going to call that a push on Forrest. No, Butcher. They're going to call that a push on Butcher. That's her first personal. It's impressive that she's gone through 3 full quarters and some change without picking up a foul, but here she is with 1. Diedrich with the ball, shooting a 1-and-1 from the free throw line. First shot is up and no good. Rebounded by Davis. 41-36. Frontenac down by 5. Davis has the ball and she's picked up by Moore. Hand off to Butcher. Right wing, it's Arnett, and a bullet pass intended for Hipful. It's going to be deflected by Buffington. Last touch by the Lady Cats, so the Raiders will have the ball, and it's Hipful to Arnett. Arnett for 3 and cannot connect, but it looked more like a pass to Karma Fields, and Fields puts it back up and in for 2. She has 5 points in the quarter, 9 on the night. Buffington crosses the timeline, gets it out to Lemke. Now Moore, inside pass. It's Melton. Melton has been so consistent from inside the lane. It's 2 more points for her. Her first 2 points of the quarter. 14 on the night. Intercepted pass by Louisburg, and it's Moore and Butcher. Butcher played great defense, but it was rebounded once again by the Lady Cats. Ball in the hands of Buffington. Buffington is picked up by Butcher right next to the half-court line. Arnett with Lemke. Inside pass to Melton, and Melton cannot connect. They're going to say ball was last touched by Louisburg, so Frontenac will get the ball 43-38. Trailing by just 5 points. At one point in time, they were trailing by 12. Karma Fields gets it to Butcher at the left. Butcher rotates and gets inside the lane to Fields. Fields' shot is blocked from the three-point line. And trying to get possession of the ball was Butcher. Butcher, I think, was fouled. And that foul will be against Moore. That's Moore's 4th personal foul. One more, and she is done. Inside pass to Davis. Davis blocks it off the backboard. It barely touches the rim and tiptoes into the basket. 2 points for Davis. That brings the score 43-40, just a 3-point advantage for the Lady Cats. Ball in the right wing. It's in the hands of Diedrich. Now Buffington at the top of the key, picked up by Butcher. Inside pass to Melton. Melton working a post move against her defender. It's Hipful, and she does indeed get 2 points off the glass in the paint. Like I said, Melton has been so consistent in the lane, and now we get a Buffington steal and an and-one take. She drives the length of the court, puts it up with her right hand off the right side of the glass, and knocks it in for 2 points. Now the Lady Cats lead 47-40.
Foul whistle against Abby Butcher. Buffington on the line for Louisburg. She's got the ball.
Buffington has not done a whole lot of scoring, but has scored when she needed to. And now she's back on the line. Now she's on the line and misses her free throw attempt. 47-40. And Arnett crosses the half-court line with the ball, but she gets it to Butcher. Butcher, now Arnett, top of the key. Skip pass to Hipful, to Fields. Fields with a Euro step to Butcher. Butcher for 3 and knocks it down. Abby Butcher brings the game within 4. And we have a ball game here, ladies and gentlemen. A steal by Butcher. Butcher to Arnett. Arnett for 2 points and 5 uncontested points by the Lady Raiders. Arnett had not scored outside of a free throw in varsity so far in her freshman year. And now she gets a transition 2 to bring the game within 2 points herself. We're going to keep it here and not take it to the station. Score is 47-45 with the final 4 minutes of action here in regulation. Your Lady Raiders down by 2. As soon as I get some updates for some scores around the CNC, I will give you that. It might be in post-game or between games, or perhaps even after the boys' game. I'm not sure. And we are exiting this timeout. These 30-second timeouts, it's so hard to send it back to the station because it's 30 seconds real time, and I'm allowed about 27 seconds, so it's just outside of our window of opportunity. I like to keep it here. 4 minutes, 8 seconds left to go And the Lady Raiders are fighting much harder than many people would have guessed against this very, very tough and lengthy Louisburg Lady Wildcats. Inbounds for the Cats, it's Buffington. She is picked up by Butcher, who has played excellently so far. A pass deflected by Arnett. Lady Cats did not see her coming in for the help defense. Lemke's trying to find somebody, and she finally does. It's way over the top. It's Diedrich. Lady Raiders out in what looks to be a 2-3 defense. Moore has the ball. She tries to drive to the right with her right hand, kicks it out to Buffington. Buffington for three and cannot draw iron. Arnett with the ball. Takes it across the half-court line. Lemke just nearly tried to pick her pocket. Butcher now at the top of the key trying to set up offense. It's Davis to Arnett. Arnett for three, cannot connect. And it's last touch by the Wildcats. It'll be Frontenac Raider basketball. Score is still 47-45, 3:30 left to go in regulation. Hankinson will check in for the Wildcats, and so will Kane. Maddie Davis with the inbounds pass. She's looking for someone, anyone. Finally finds Hipfel. Hipfel to Davis, to Butcher. Butcher for three and knocks it down. Abby Butcher with a fantastic display of both defense and offense gives the Raiders their first lead of the ballgame, 48-47. And there was Hipfel trying to take a charge. She's going to be whistled for the blocking foul. She was really trying to take the charge, try to get her feet set and everything. Frontenac Raiders with just an impressive display of long-distance shooting and hardcore defense. And Moore will be putting in two shots from the free throw line. First shot rocks off the front of the iron, no good. 3:10 left to go in regulation. Bria Ginnivan checks back into the ballgame, giving Hipfel a break. Second shot opportunity by Moore. This one is off the back iron and rebounded by Bria Ginnivan. Excellent box out for the post. Heather Arnett, bullet pass to Maddie Davis, and just nearly batted away, or was batted away rather, by Elise Moore. Maddie Davis will get the ball on the baseline for the inbounds pass. Gets it to Arnett. Arnett takes the 16-foot jumper off the back iron, gets her own rebound, puts it on the floor, and tries to get a bounce pass over to Butcher, and it is no good. It is picked up by Kane. And scoring it off the assist is Moore. Moore has been one of the more prolific scorers on this team so far, as far as getting it done from all around. Maddie Davis with a distance three-pointer. This one's high arcing and no good. Taking the ball across is Madeline Melton. She is whistled on the traveling violation, and Frontenac is in an uproar, in excitement. Right now, the Lady Cats lead 49-48, 2:20 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Karma Fields has the ball in the left wing. She's working against Buffington. To Butcher. Butcher for the long two, cannot get it. Rebounded by Maddie Davis. And Bria Ginnivan will try for two. This one circles around the rim and falls out. 2 minutes left, and the Cats still lead by one, 49-48. Skip pass over the top, and that's all day for Melton. Just a wide open transition two. And now the Lady Cats lead by three, 51-48. That's a full timeout, so we will take it with them. You're listening to ESPN1007.com and Radio X 103.5, The Evolution. Back in 1 minute.
The human eye blinks about 17,000 times a day.
We'll go back to Frontenac, Kansas, and we've got a close one, 51-48. The Raiders are down by 3 with 1:43 left to go in the fourth. Raiders have the ball on the near sideline. It's Bria Ginnivan with an inbounds pass to Karma Fields. Fields over to Butcher in the left wing. Butcher to Davis. Oh, no, it's Hipful. Hipful to Fields. And two bounces off the three-point attempt off the iron. Goodness gracious. Talk about a cliffhanger, and a timeout by Louisburg is going to be whistled. A 1-minute timeout just after the last timeout. Coach can't be too happy about that, but we'll take it with him. A break here for 1 minute. We'll be back here on ESPN1007.com and Radio X 103.5, The Evolution. 1 minute.
World Class Sports, the area's new premier indoor sports training facility with over 12,000 square feet of space. World Class Sports offers individual and team rentals, private and team instruction, and more. Book your training session or rental today at wc-sports.com.
(51-48) is the score. 1:10 left in regulation. Driving in is Melton. Melton misses her shot and gets her own rebound. Gets it to Buffington. Butcher just about had the steal and had the takeaway for an easy 2 points. Bria Ginnivan over pursues on that bat away, and it's Melton driving into the paint. They're going to call the foul on the floor, so the shot is no good. However, no, they are going to say it's good. I thought for certain it was a foul on the floor. But they're going to say the 2 points are good by Madeline Melton. And the free throw is good. She has not been great from the free throw line, but has hit it when it counts. 54-48. And the Lady Cats are looking like they're going to try to run away with this one. Ball rolls out of bounds with 47 seconds left, 54-48 once again. Now the Cats have made a 6-point lead for themselves. And the Frontenac Lady Raiders are going to get the ball on their own side, on this near sideline. Butcher for 3 from distance, and it will not draw iron. It'll roll out of bounds. Louisburg ball, 41 seconds left on the clock. Heather Arnett back in the game for the Lady Raiders, and back in for the Lady Cats is Brooklyn Dietrich and Kenya Hankinson. Hankinson just about loses her dribble, and it nearly stolen away by Fields. Instead, it's going to be taken in for 2 points by Dietrich. Her first 2 points of the fourth quarter as the final 30 seconds tick down. It's 56-48, 8-point advantage. Karma Fields launches a 3 from the left wing. No good, rebounded by Butcher. Butcher cannot connect either. And Heather Arnett grabs the rebound and tries to go up for a shot. She's going to be sent to the line for a chance at 2 to bring this game within 6. 17.4 seconds. Raiders down by 8. First shot is up and in for Arnett. Great high arcing shot. She has 3 points here tonight, all 3 here in the third quarter. 56-49. Second shot is up off the backboard, no good. Arnett gets her own rebound. Shot is up off the glass, inside for 2 points. And Arnett gets a three-point play off of that, and now the Raiders just down by 5. A two-possession lead with 10.9 seconds, and a full timeout is taken. We'll take it with them. We'll be back here on ESPN1007.com as well as Radio X 103.5. As we came back from the timeout, an intentional foul by Heather Arnett to stop the clock at 6.7 seconds. She will foul Hankinson, who will take 2 shots from the free throw line. First one is good. That's Hankinson's first point of the ball game, and it came in a timely manner for the Lady Cats. 57-51, 6.7 seconds left. Second shot up and rattles around, no good. And Karma Fields streaking up the court. It's Maddie Davis. Davis tried to take a three-point shot. Got her own rebound and tried to put up a second one. Neither one fell. And that is the final score from here in Frontenac, Kansas for the Lady Raiders versus Lady Cats basketball game. 57-51. Lady Raiders fall to 0-2. Lady Cats improved to 3-1 on the season. A great start for Louisburg. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll go over the first scores and we'll talk about the boys' game that is up and coming. We'll take a 3-minute break and we'll be back here on ESPN 1007.com and Radio X 103.5, The Evolution.
Success is a direct result of a great partnership
Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas. We're going to do a short break here as we give you a preview of what's to come here in this Frontenac versus Louisburg matchup. For Frontenac, they entered the game at 0-1. They lost their season opener and home opener to Carthage in overtime, 70-69. For Louisburg, they are 2-1 on the season with their first 2 games of the season against Tonganoxie and Burlington, both wins, both scoring 58 points. For Tonganoxie, it was 58-47, and Burlington, it was 58-51. Then they took a tough loss by only 6 points, but a high-scoring game nonetheless against Anderson County on the road, 80-74. And that brings us to where we are today. Coach Ryan Barcelona already looking good, and he brings back a lot of the talent that he had from last year, minus a couple of bigger players such as Brock Ginnivan and some impact players. But for the most part, a lot of his core talent is still here, and they shoot the free throw very, very efficiently and get to the foul line often. That's what we'll be looking for in this matchup. We're going to take a 3-minute break. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Mike Snow and Ryan Barcelona, the head coach of the boys basketball program here at Frontenac. And he will talk about this matchup and about last week's game versus Carthage. You're listening to ESPN 100.7 or 1007.com and Radio X 103.5, The Evolution. 3 minutes, and we're back with Ryan Barcelona.
Looking back on that and having a few days for it to sink in and watch it on check out is how hard the guys played. First time out, a lot of new guys on the floor with a big crowd on Friday night, and I felt like an extremely athletic team, and Carthage, I feel like, is going to have a good year. That was, a really good game for us. I told the guys after the game, just keep your head held high because, if he misses it, we should still kind of feel the same way. It stinks to lose, but we should be proud with the way we played and hung with them. And, we made a shot late, and, we contested the shot there at the end. It just went in, and I felt like if we can bring that energy every night, we should have a pretty successful year.
Well, the cliche in football is you improve from game 1 to game 2 the most during the season. Obviously, in basketball, there's more games and less time between game 1 and game 2. But what do you feel like some of the areas that you're looking for improvement upon tonight against Louisburg?
The main thing is probably taking the ball. We turn it over a little bit more than you want to, but for first team out, you kind of expect that. You're just going to be kind of loose with the ball a little bit, but I feel like that's something we can improve on game 1 to game 2 the most, is just taking care of the ball and get those extra possessions back.
We're talking to Frontenac boys head coach Ryan Barcelona here between games as they host Louisburg tonight. And I really thought, even at the free throw line and from the floor, you guys shot it. How did you end up percentage-wise?
Yeah, I was really pleased with that. I mean, big stat we look at is effective field goal percentage, and we were right around 47% from the field in effective field goal percentage, and we ended up shooting 65% from the free throw line. We want to be at 75, obviously, but I like the way we got to the basket. We got to the free throw line a little over 30 times, so I feel like we can keep doing that, keep getting to the free throw line, that we'll get better as the season goes along from the free throw line.
Well, as I mentioned, you got Louisburg in town tonight. Coach, do you know much on the Wildcats? Have you got to see them on film yet?
Yeah, we have. They're ranked in Class 4A. They're off to a good start this year. They have most of their guys back from their rotation. I think they only lost one starter from last year. They got a couple big 6'5" and 6'4". My guess is they played.
World Class Sports, the area's new premier indoor sports training facility with over 12,000 square feet of space. World Class Sports offers individual and team rentals, private and team instruction, and more. Book your training session or rental today at wc-sports.com.
I don't know if they have the athletic ability out on perimeter as Carthage did. They had Carthage, I felt like, had 2 or 3 guys that could really finish above the rim out on the perimeter. I don't know if they have those high risers like that. I think they do have some guys that can get their feet set, that can knock the 3 down. And I feel like they bang inside better than Carthage did. Carthage kind of moved outside of the lane a little bit, and I don't see Louisburg doing that. I see them trying to attack us in the paint and go right at us.
You got first of a pretty busy week. Louisburg at home tonight, Thursday at home with Prairie View, and then in the 4-state shootout with Neosho on Saturday. So don't you feel like, as we said here, from about 6 days from right now, you're going to find out a lot more about your team than you know right now?
Yeah, absolutely. We know we got 3 games this week, and we just try to treat it like basically sub-state week. Let's just find out how we need to prepare. You just basically going to have one-day scout game. So we're going to do that 3 times this week, and it's a chance for us to get ready for February again. And I feel like it's an exciting week. We've had 17 practices before a game, and now we get to just play games. And I think our guys are ready to do that, and really looking forward to the week.
Frontenac boys head coach Ryan Barcelona. Coach, thanks for the time and good luck against Louisburg.
Thanks, Mike.
We're back to Frontenac in 2 minutes with the starting lineups. This is Raider basketball.
Hi, I'm Finley Gorman, former NFL Pro Bowler and proud graduate of Pittsburgh State University. Like you, I love cheering on our Brewers, but our student-athletes need our support on more than just game days. That's why I'm asking you to participate in the newly created Silverback Fund. When you give to the Silverback Fund, you're helping fund scholarships for our students to excel athletically and academically. Take your Guerrero pride to the next level. Give to the Silverback Fund. Learn more at allstate.edu/silverback.
At Canar Eye Care, we have an uncompromised dedication to giving our patients a lifetime of healthy eyes and excellent vision. Our 2 locations host state-of-the-art facilities with top-of-the-line diagnostic equipment and a knowledgeable staff that is always here to take care of you. At Canar Eye Care, we accept most medical and vision insurance. Remember, a lifetime of healthy eyes and excellent vision begins at Canar Eye Care, the clear choice.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
And now, more exciting Raiders basketball action on Radio X 103.5, The Evolution.
Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas, as we get you ready and prepared for the tip-off for the boys' contest. This is Heath Adkins alongside my scorekeeper, Amber Atkins, and my cameraman, Austin Souter, as well as Jacob Ryan back in studio, keeping us on the air and pushing all the right buttons. We get ready for the PA announcer to announce the starting lineup, so I'm going to try to get through this as best as I can while hardly being able to hear myself think, but let's go over the starters for the Louisburg Wildcats. Like I said, they come into the contest at 2-1. And starting off for the Wildcats, the guard, senior, 6'1", number 2, Cole Vogel. Number 3, the 5'10", sophomore guard, Weston Getterman. Number 10, 5'9", senior guard, Braden Gage. Number 20, the 6'4", senior forward, Noah Hill. And rounding it off for the Wildcats, number 30, the 6'4", junior, the forward, Madden Rutherford. They're coached by Ty Vandensteel, assisted by Drew Harding and Pate Skakel. For your Frontenac Raiders, number 0, Blaine Baldwin. Number 5, Cooper Cleland. Number 15, Jake Beckman. Number 33, Hayden Pyle. And number 44, Noah Brooks. The Raiders are coached by head coach Ryan Barcelona, assisted by Troy Morris and Jared Pyle. Noah Brooks at 6'7" had an outing the last contest. He ended with 16 points and almost led all scorers, with the exception of a late Blaine Baldwin, who came into that fourth quarter with 4 personal fouls and overtime, fourth quarter and overtime. With 4 personal fouls, did not commit a single one throughout the entirety of the rest of the match, and ended up scoring 18 on the night. There were 4 Frontenac Raiders in double digits. It was Baldwin and Brooks. Behind him was Pyle with 10 and Beckman with 12. Cooper Cleland nearing that mark with double digits with 9. And they led the Raiders to that 70-69 loss in overtime, and just about double overtime. And we get ready for tip-off here. Rutherford and Brooks getting ready to tip it off here in Frontenac, Kansas. I'm sorry, no, it's going to be Hill and Brooks. And the Wildcats get the ball to start it out. Just about a bullet pass inside to Rutherford. By the way, this is a very talented team. Just barely losing that game to Anderson County. They were on a 2-game spree, and they lost that contest. Inside pass to Hill, and back over the top, it's Rutherford. Top of the key is Vogel. Vogel over to Gage. Over the top and nearly picked off by Cooper Cleland, and it was picked off. However, on the cross-court pass, the other side is Jake Beckman. Pass was a little too high for him. Reeled it in, but not before he stepped out of bounds, and it's going to be Louisburg ball. Still 0-0, 7 minutes and 38 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Bringing the ball inbounds is Gage. Over the left wing, now it's Vogel. Over the top pass to Getterman. Back to Gage in the right wing. Picked up by Cleland, and Cleland picks off the pass, and he's going to take it over as his Raiders start the offensive drive. Baldwin picked up by Vogel. Screen set, nice screen by Pyle. Cross court to Baldwin. I'm sorry, that's Beckman. And Pyle and Brooks and a number of Wildcats fighting for that rebound. It'll end up in the hands of the Wildcats, and Vogel just cannot bring it in before Beckman swats it away. Ball now in the hands of Rutherford. Rutherford gets it to Vogel. Vogel inside to Hill. And Hill scores the first 2 points of the ball game. The Wildcats lead 2-0 with 6:40 left to go here in the first quarter. Wildcats steal it away. And just by the hair of his chinny chin chin, it's Gage who comes in with the 2-point steal. 4-0, 6:30 left to go here in the first. Inside to Pyle, out to Baldwin. Baldwin for three, cannot connect. Rebounded by Brooks. Brooks puts it up and in. And that's the big man getting things done inside. Nice offensive rebound for Brooks. Skip pass to Hill. And it's picked off by Beckman. Jake Beckman has had active hands on defense all game so far. A Euro step attempt. And it's a blocking foul, which is going to be whistled on. I can't tell who they're going to call that blocking foul on. I think it's going to be on number 10. That's Gage. That's his first personal foul, team's first. Inbounds pass intended for Pyle. It's going to be swatted out, and last touch by Pyle, so Louisburg ball. Louisburg is still on top by 2 points, 4-2. I did not get those second points by Gage. Gage now in the left wing. He has it. Getting it to Getterman. Getterman to Vogel. Vogel could not reel in the pass. It went in between his legs and out of bounds, so Frontenac will get possession of the basketball with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. It's 4-2. Frontenac at a 2-point disadvantage. Baldwin has the ball as he takes the ball across the half-court line and gets it over to Beckman in the left wing. Beckman drives in and kicks it right back out to Pyle. Pyle in the right. Now at the top of the key, drives through the paint, tries to put up a mid-range jumper. It rattles around the rim and inside to tie the ball game for all. Hayden Pyle with his first 2 points of the ball game. Gage driving inside the paint, gets it inside the Hill rather. Hill with a little spin move and he turns it over. Ball in the hands of Baldwin. Baldwin driving down the court. Nearly got his pocket picked by Vogel, but instead Baldwin will turn it into 2 points of his own. Frontenac takes their first lead of the ballgame, 6-4. 4 minutes and 55 seconds left to go here in the first. Vogel takes it to the paint, and no backboard necessary. Vogel scores 2 to tie it all up, 6-all. 4:40 left to go in the first. Pyle with the ball in the right wing. A head fake to the left, spin move, and up off the glass. Cannot connect. It's Rutherford with a rebound to Gage. Gage with a Euro step, tries to get it inside, and Brooks with a defensive stop. Driving inside was Cooper Cleveland. He's going to draw the blocking foul, and I believe he will get 2 shots from the charity stripe, and he will. Score is still tied up 6-6. Getterman picks up his first personal foul, team's second. First shot is up and in by Cooper Cleveland. His first point of the night. 7-6 is the score, 4:22 left in the first. Frontenac shooting free throws. It's Cooper Cleveland at the line. Second shot is up and in. Like clockwork. Cleveland with 2. An immaculate stat line from the free throw line thus far. In the ball game for the Raiders, it's Franklin. Franklin nearly had a steal on that fast break attempt by the Wildcats. Ball will travel out of bounds and last touched by Frontenac. So Louisburg will take it. Vogel from deep and cannot hit. Now it's going to be Gage from about the same spot on the baseline and connects for 3 points. Gage has 5 points on the night. He leads all scorers. Driving in, it's Beckman. And a skip pass. It was Story. Tried the three-pointer and could not get it. Traveling violation. That's on Rutherford.
Out of the game for Louisburg, Dylan DeShazer.
That's a turnover for the Wildcats, and the Frontenac Raiders will take possession of the ball. It's Baldwin with the ball as he crosses the half-court line, picked up by Vogel. Wildcats in a man-to-man defense. Baldwin to Beckman. Beckman cannot connect from just underneath the basket. Pretty heavy traffic. Vogel streaking down the court, gets an outlet pass on the paint, and he will score 2. Vogel has 4 points tonight. Over the top pass to Cleland. It's mishandled by a number of different players, and a steal by Baldwin as Gage throws it away, trying to get the outlet pass to Vogel. Score is 11-8, 3:12 left to go here in the first. Frontenac down by just 3 points. Ready to check into the ball game is Bridwell, and he's going to give Beckman a seat. Baldwin takes the ball up the court, picked up by Vogel once again. It's Cleland. Cleland with a stutter step inside, puts it off the glass. It's rebounded, put back up twice by Story. Story didn't hit either one, but he will be sent to the line at a chance to make this a one-point ball game, barring 2 made free throws. 2:58 on the clock here for the first quarter. Shot is up and off the front iron, no good. Chance to make this a 2-point game now. Referee is talking to Cooper Cleland about something. But Story back with the ball in his hands. Attempts his second shot. This one is rattled around, no good, but it's Cooper Cleland with the rebound, puts it back in for 2 points. 4 points on the night for Cooper Cleland. And what a job he has done thus far.
Back in for the Raiders, Jake Beckman.
Jake Beckman's back in the ball game, just needed a quick little breather. Inbounds pass was to Sieber. No, I'm sorry, that was Shazer. Shazer knocks down his first free throw. That foul, by the way, on the shot was by Franklin. That's his first personal, team's first. Second shot is made, so Shazer knocks them both in. And Frontenac now down by 3 once more. Baldwin with the ball. He gets it to Beckman in the right wing. Screen set by Franklin. Bounce pass to Baldwin. Baldwin lays it in with the right hand off the left side. A little unorthodox, but it works nonetheless. Baldwin with 4 points on the night and a great take and assist, by the way. Ball in the hands of Rutherford. Rutherford drives in. Can't get anything on the take, but a foul will be called on Franklin. That's Franklin's second personal foul. Rutherford on the line to shoot 2. First shot is no good. Checking into the game is Hayden Pyle. He's going to give Franklin a seat. Also checking back into the ball game is Hill. 2:15 on the clock, 13-12. Make that 14-12 on the made free throw. Noah Brooks back into the game for the Frontenac Raiders, a much-needed face on that court. He is a big part of this offense. He is and he's definitely a valuable threat inside. Jake Beckman on the right wing. He's picked up by Gage. A nice screen set. Brooks at the top of the key. It's stolen away by Vogel. Vogel's driving down the court. Tries to put a reverse layup. And it's Hill with the rebound. Brooks gets the rebound. And 2 missed opportunities by the Wildcats. 14-12 the score. A minute 45 left to go here in the first quarter. Beckman top of the key. He gets to Brooks. Brooks with a power step. Lays it up off the glass and cannot get enough left-hand English on it. Over in the right wing, it's Shazer. Shazer with a bounce pass to Rutherford. Rutherford in the right. He gives a little stutter step. Back over the top to Shazer. Now Vogel. Vogel drives in. He's shifty, but he gets his own rebound. Tries to get the putback shot and cannot connect. And a foul is on the shot. It's going to send Shazer back to the line. He was 2 for 2 in his last attempts. Still 14-12, a chance to extend this to a 4-point lead for the Wildcats. A minute 20 in the first. Shot is up and in. Shazer has scored 3, all 3 from the charity stripe. Second shot is underway. And he is 4 for 4 tonight, hitting 100% from the charity stripe. 16-12, a 4-point advantage for the Wildcats. A minute 15 on the clock. Attempted steal. Leaves a nice hole in the defense that Cooper Cleveland tried to capitalize on. However, there is a push foul. That'll be on Vogel. That's his second personal foul. Gage checks back in and gives Vogel a seat. Was not a shooting foul, but an inside pass to Brooks. A little turnaround hook shot attempted by Brooks does not fall, and we have a minute flat left here in the first quarter. Frontenac still trailing by 4, 16-12. Ball in the hands of Hill in the right wing. Brooks playing defense on the inside. Screen set by Hill. Rutherford with a spin move. Met by a couple defenders. Hill drives in. Cannot get the 2 to fall. However, he is fouled by, I believe, Noah Brooks. And it will be by Brooks. It's his first personal. Two shots for Hill. First one is up and in. Second one is underway. Off the back iron, cannot connect. Hayden Pyle with the rebound. Cooper Cleveland has the ball. Last 35 seconds left to go. In the left wing, it's Bridwell. Inside to Noah Brooks and completely uncontested. It went right over the head of Hill, and Brooks back on the board with 2 more points. That makes this a 3-point ball game. Final 20 seconds. As the clock ticks down, it's Hill in the left wing. Dribbles with his left and finds Rutherford at the top of the key. Rutherford is picked up by Bridwell. Loose ball on the ground. It's Rutherford. And they're going to call a holding foul. Not sure who they're going to call that on. They're going to call that on Bridwell. His first personal. Team's 5th. And I'm missing one personal foul somewhere. And it's Beckman who had that one other personal. Pass over to the right wing. It's Getterman. Inside to Gage. Gage cannot connect on his mid-range jumper, rebounded by Brooks, and that's the way we will end the first quarter of play. Louisburg leads 17-14. We're back in 1 minute here on ESPN 1007.com and Radio X 103.5, The Evolution. Back in 1 minute.
Shrub removal and mulch installation.
Pitt State basketball. After some time off for final exams to conclude the fall semester, both Pitt State teams head to Sin City for the Las Vegas Hoopla. On Monday the 17th, the women play Embry-Riddle from Florida, and the men face the University of Indianapolis. On Tuesday the 18th, the women play St. Edwards, Texas, while the men take on West Texas A&M.
This is your home for Pitt State basketball. ESPN 100.7.
And now, more exciting Raiders basketball action on Radio X 103.5, The Evolution.
Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas. Heath Adkins here as we get ready to start the second quarter of action. Excuse me there. I had to turn my mic down for just a moment. And Jake Beckman, just as I took that moment of silence, knocked down a three-pointer to make it all 17-7. Beckman with an impressive shot from distance. And now we are all knotted up as Gage tries a three-pointer of his own and cannot connect. Ball in the hands of Cleland, and Cleland's going to be whistled on the traveling violation. Still all knotted up, 17 all, 7:23 left here in the second quarter. Ball in the hands of Gage. Gets a cross-court pass to Getterman. Getterman inside to Rutherford. Rutherford drives in, tries to get a body on Noah Brooks. And a pass to Shazer. Or rather, a rebound to Shazer. Gage with an overhead pass to the left. Gage is going to try a three-pointer from distance and can in fact knock it down to respond with his own. Gage had 5 points in the first quarter. And a great full court attempt by the Raiders, unfortunately. Never mind. Gage is going to be whistled a foul for a push. Score is 20-17, 6:38. And Beckman stole that ball away on the full court pass. Beckman from the left wing finds Cleland. Cleland is picked up by a couple of defenders, puts up a shot from the right elbow, can't connect. And Franklin tries a hook shot of his own. Frontenac getting plenty of second chance opportunities offensively, but cannot connect. The offensive rebound stat padding has been a real thing today. It's Rutherford. Skip pass to Shazer. Shazer for the distance two, gets it to fall. No, never mind. No, he does not. Foul on the floor as Baldwin came rushing through the paint. 20-17, 6:02 the time. Rutherford's going to pick up his second personal. First shot is up and good by Baldwin. He was sent to the line off that foul by Rutherford. Brings the score 20-18.
Checking in now for the Raiders, number 20.
McCartney checks in for the Raiders. His first time seeing action tonight. Baldwin's shot is up and good. So Baldwin hitting a perfect 4 for 4 tonight. Now Hill breaking the full court press by Frontenac, picks up his dribble and just barely gets it over to Getterman in time. Frontenac with the steal, and it's Baldwin with the fake three. He's going to be whistled on traveling. I'm not so sure about that one. 20-19 the score. Frontenac trailing by just one. 5:45 left here in the first half. 30-second timeout is called by Louisburg. We'll take it with them. You're listening to ESPN 1007.com as well as Radio X 103.5, The Evolution. 30 seconds and we're back. Back in Frontenac, Kansas, Heath Adkins alongside Amber Adkins, my scorekeeper, and Austin Souter, cameraman. Jacob Ryan, the board op and engineer, who's keeping us on the air. Louisburg on the attack now. Getterman's at the top of the key. He gets it over to Hill in the right wing. Hill is picked up by Hayden Pyle. Down the left wing, it's Vogel. Vogel drives in and puts up a highly contested shot. Low percentage, but it falls nonetheless. Vogel has 6 points on the night. Brings the score 22-19. Frontenac down by 3. Baldwin with the ball. He finds Cooper Cleland. Cleland back to Baldwin in the right wing. A lob over the top. It's Hayden Pyle. Pyle up and off the glass, and he brings it within 1. Pyle didn't score a whole lot in the first quarter, but has equaled out his scoring already with 4 on the night. Louisburg on the attack. They drive to the right and get the ball in the hands of Shazer. Back to Vogel. Tip pass. Vogel tried to get it back out on the perimeter, and it's Baldwin driving the length of the court. Skip pass over to McCartney. McCartney for 3, and he is well short. Rebounded by Louisburg. Once again driving the length of the court, as that seems to be the pattern. That was Minstead. I'm sorry, that was Cole Vogel and Weston Getterman. Shot is still no good for the Raiders. 22-21, 4 minutes flat left to go here in the second. Driving to the left was Getterman again. By the way, we have Weston Getterman and Benjamin Getterman. Benjamin Getterman standing at 6 foot. He's a sophomore. Weston Getterman at 5'10", also a sophomore. Weston Getterman standing at the line now off the foul by Cooper Cleland, his first, team's 7th. That sends them into the single bonus. He sinks his first. That's his first point of the night. 23-21. Frontenac trails by 2. 4 minutes flat left to go here in the second. Getterman puts up his second shot, up and in. No, it rattles right back out, and Noah Brooks, rather McCartney, gets the rebound. Puts it back in the hands of Baldwin at the top of the key. Lob over the top. It was intended for Noah Brooks. Hill tried to reel it back in, but instead he's going to be the reason that Frontenac retains possession. He just about had the pickoff. Probably would have been better off just letting it sail out of bounds. Baldwin's going to try the three-pointer from the baseline and cannot connect. Vogel gets the rebound. Crosses the half-court line. He's in transition offense. Shazer. Now Hill in the right wing. Picked up by Brooks. It's Getterman, top of the key. Picked up by Baldwin. Baldwin's playing face-guarding defense on him. Hupp. No, I'm sorry, not Hupp. It's Benjamin Getterman. Driving into the paint. Put up a shot and it was no good. However, McCartney's going to draw a foul. Getterman will draw a foul. It was McCartney who committed it. That's McCartney's first personal, and it will send Getterman to the line. First personal, team's 8th on a one-on-one attempt. It is no good, and it's rebounded by Rutherford. So Louisburg retains possession. Traveling violation called on Vogel. So turnover for the Wildcats. 23-21 is the score. 3:10 left to go here in the second quarter. Ball at the top of the key. It's Beckman. Over to Baldwin. Now Hensley. Hensley, top of the key. Working against the 2-3 defense by the Wildcats. It's just going back and forth between him and Baldwin. Finally over to Beckman. Beckman inside finds Franklin, and it's a kick right back out. And here we have the Hensley and Baldwin show. Beckman gets the ball at the top of the key off the thrown ball. by the Wildcats. There's a jump ball on the ground and a tie-up. I believe it was Noah Brooks and Hill. The possession arrow is pointing towards the Wildcats, so they will take it over on Frontenac side, the far left baseline on your radio dial. 2:34 left to go here in the first half of play. It's a low-scoring game, 23-21. Ball crosses the half-court line in the hands of Getterman. Getterman finds Rutherford to Hill in the right wing, picked up by Brooks. Left wing, and it's Benjamin Getterman for three. His first score of the night, and in emphatic fashion. 26-21, a 5-point advantage for the Wildcats, and now Frontenac on the attack once more. Hensley inside to Brooks. Brooks with a power dribble and drives inside, gets his own rebound, another shot back up, and it's Vogel with the rebound. Vogel crosses the half-court line, tries to get a full-court pass. It's more like a half-court pass, and it's going to be just out of reach. Frontenac ball. 1:53 left to go here in the first half, 26-21. Hayden Pyle checks in for the Raiders. Some more size added to that 5 on the floor. 26-21 once again. Taking the ball up the court is Cooper Cleland. Baldwin taking a little bit of a break. It's Beckman to Hensley. Beckman back to Hensley. And Cooper Cleland for three and knocks it down. 26-24. A big retaliation shot by Cooper Cleland to offset the opposing three-pointer. Baldwin already ready to check back in. He's sitting down next to the scorer's table as Louisburg is on the attack, driving the baseline and a kick back out to Gage. And a mishandled pass. Last touch by Shazer. Keep on thinking Ryan Shazier, the Pittsburgh Steelers middle linebacker. But nonetheless, ball in the hands of Cooper Cleland. Baldwin back out on the court. It's Noah Brooks in the right wing. Inside pass to Baldwin. Baldwin puts up a shot. It is batted away, but not without some skin-to-skin contact. And Baldwin is sent to the line for two shots. A chance to tie this ball game. 26-24, a minute left in the half. Baldwin has been a perfect 4 for 4 tonight from the free throw line. First shot is up, and I jinxed him. Missed his first. So a chance to make this a 1-point game with 1:05 left in the first half. Baldwin squares up for his second shot. It is up and in. So Baldwin now 5 for 6 from the free throw line tonight. Fire! We have Getterman. Getterman to Getterman. He rocks it off the front side of the rim. By the way, that was Weston Getterman who tried the three-pointer. 40 seconds left. Baldwin in the right wing. 35. Cooper Cleland inside the pile. Turnaround jump shot from the right elbow. Cannot connect, and it's Brooks with the rebound. A 1-and-1 attempt at the line for Noah Brooks. And that foul was on Noah Hill. His first personal, team's 9th. Brooks misses his free throw opportunity on the 1-and-1. So taking over will be Getterman. Getterman gets it to Benjamin Getterman. Now Gage, way back with some fancy footwork, trying to get away from Jake Beckman. And putting the ball a little too strong on the ground. Turns the ball over, does Gage. And Beckman drives the length of the court and with a circus shot puts it up with his left hand. Beckman ends the quarter with a lead, a 1-point lead at that, 27-26 with a circus shot. And that's where we end this first half of action. After 16 minutes played, it's Frontenac 27, Louisburg 26. We're going to take a 2-minute break. I'm going to go down and check things out with the scorers table, make sure everything I have is exactly as they have it. And when we come back, we'll go over the first half of scoring and try to give you some scores from around the league. Make that a 3-minute break. You're listening to ESPN1007.com as well as on the radio on 103.5 Radio X.
Okay, we're going to have 2 winners tonight.
Accidents happen. That's why they're called accidents. And if you're involved in an accident, it becomes an instant worry, including can your car be repaired properly and in a timely manner. Enter Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing, a company that exemplifies quality work done in a timely manner. Best of all, Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing offers direct billing to most insurance companies. So, if you're in an accident, there's one name to remember. Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing. Their name says it all. Ask about their 24-hour towing service, too. Call 232-9400. Find the fast in names and numbers.
Come dine at Mazzio's Italian Eatery at 818 South Broadway in Pittsburgh. Mazzio's offers a lunch buffet every day from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. and reopen the buffet on Monday and Tuesday evenings from 5 to 8. Mazzio's offers pizza, pasta, sandwiches, calzones, and a salad bar. So come check out Mazzio's Pizzeria today or call 232-3535. Mazzio's, a proud sponsor of local athletics.
Strong teams are something Watco Companies knows all about. And whether we're transloading steel in Houston, repairing rail cars in Pennsylvania, or hauling grain in Australia, Watco is still the same hometown transportation services provider that was started in Pittsburgh, Kansas 35 years ago. The Watco team has close ties to our local communities and would like to wish all our area high school teams safe and successful seasons. Watco Companies, customer first, safety always.
S&B Lawn Care, the leading lawn service in the area, offers a full range of commercial and residential lawn care services. S&B is local, reliable, and experienced, and they strive for 100% satisfaction for their clients. S&B can handle all of your mowing needs no matter what size, and provide a variety of other services such as leaf blowing, shrub removal, and mulch installation. S&B Lawn Care provides the best service possible, from the first call to the completion of the project. Call S&B Lawn Care today at 620-308-6412.
Do you find it hard to work with a print company? At Pitcraft, they are not just your printer, they are your partner. Celebrating 75 years in business, Pitcraft can help and consult you through the process of creating and reproducing your organization's professional image through top-of-the-line commercial, print, and marketing mediums. Working with organizations such as the Kansas City Royals, the University of Kansas Athletics, and the NAIA Drives, Pitcraft believes that their success is a direct result of a great partnership, which is why they do not just sell a product, they sell a team effort to bring innovative and exciting marketing ideas to your organization. To kick off our partnership, we'd like to offer listeners a free full-color banner with your next purchase of $250 or more. Call us at 800-557-7471 or visit www.pitcraft.com for details. Pitcraft, they're not just your printer, they are your partner.
Back to action with Frontenac Raiders basketball on Radio X 103.5. The Evolution.
Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas. Heath Adkins here, giving you the scoring summary of the first half for this Frontenac versus Louisburg matchup. Right now, Frontenac leads on a late runner by Jake Beckman, 27-26 over the Louisburg Wildcats. Scoring summary for the Wildcats, leading all of the Wildcats, leading all scorers is Gage with 8 points. Everybody has done a pretty good job of spreading the wealth, so to speak. Next to him is Vogel, and then with 6, Getterman with 1, Hill with 3, Benjamin Getterman with 3, and Shazer with 4, Rutherford with 1. For Frontenac, the leading Raiders, both Blaine Baldwin and Cooper Cleland both have 7 points. Underneath him is Jake Beckman with 5. Hayden Pyle and Noah Brooks both have 4. And that totals out to the 27-26 score that you have before you. We've got 5 minutes left in the halftime intermission. We're going to go ahead and take one more 3-minute break. When we return, I will get you prepped for the second half of action and maybe have some scores from around the CNC. You are listening to Frontenac Raider basketball on Radio X 103.5 and ESPN1007.com.
claim is the most important service an insured needs.
Claim is our chance to let the customer know that we'll be out there, not just that we sold them a policy, we'll also be there when a claim occurs to make sure it gets handled in an honest, respectable way.
Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh, a trusted choice agency. Find them fast in names and numbers.
GM Bank has been in the banking business since 1918. That's right. GM Bank has been serving customers like you for over 100 years. We're deeply rooted in the communities we serve with expertise in small business and agriculture. We're time-tested and people-centered. A lot has changed over the last 100 years, but as a family-owned bank, our commitment to our customers has only grown deeper. GM Bank, the best place to bank and borrow. Come see us and let us give you our best. GN-Bank.com.
Member FDIC. World Class Sports is a multi-purpose sports facility with a turf space that can be used for baseball, softball training, soccer, flag football, and even birthday parties. Top of the class facility features a lobby, entertainment area for parents, and convenient online scheduling to make weekly practice planning easy. Book your training session today at 620-404-8662 or wc-sports.com. World Class Sports at 20th and the Bypass in Pittsburgh.
Hi, I'm Timmy Gammon, former NFL Pro Bowler and proud graduate of Pittsburgh State University. Like you, I love cheering on our gorillas, but our student athletes need our support on more than just game days. That's why I'm asking you to participate in the newly created Silverback Fund. When you give to the Silverback Fund, you're helping fund scholarships for our students to excel athletically and academically, taking the royal pride to the next level. Give to the Silverback Fund. Learn more at pittstate.edu/silverback.
CDL has so many services to keep you comfortable in your home and business, like a full fleet of electricians, plumbers, and heating and air professionals to keep your home and business running smooth. And stay powered with a generator during those bad weather days. Or consider a solar option to supply power at a much lower cost. You know, with the new incentives and rebates, solar has never been cheaper. So remember CDL. One company, so many solutions.
We make choices every day, but when it comes time to choose skilled nursing care for you or a loved one, choices get a lot tougher. Caring for you or a loved one is a choice we at Medicologist Frontenac take personally. We are Kansas-based and employee-owned with a team of experienced and compassionate professionals. But doesn't everyone say the same thing? Possibly, but Medicologist has been caring for loved ones for over 50 years. We have staff members who have been with us for decades. The difference is our approach to our staff and your loved one. We have private rooms available immediately. This is Mike Ricks, administrator of Medicologist Frontenac. I look forward to speaking with you. For an appointment, call 620-231-7340 or stop in at 206 South Pittman in Frontenac.
And now, more exciting Raiders basketball action on Radio X 103.5.
Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas. Heath Atkins here alongside Amber Atkins running the scoreboard and Austin Sauter running the camera. Jacob Ryan back in the studio, pushing all the buttons and getting us, keeping us on the air. Well, the tail of the tape for Frontenac this first half has been free throws. They are shooting 80%, 8 for 10 from the line. Blaine Baldwin has shot for 5 out of 6 of those. Has shot 6 of those free throws and made 5 of them. Doing an excellent job on his part. Not able to finish a whole lot in traffic, but has certainly been able to get the job done within the paint, or right outside the paint rather, for the free throw line. Trying to get some scores from around the CNC to give you, but have not received word on the Colgan game that Shelby White is broadcasting on 1340 AM as well as on ESPN1007.com. We are about 35 seconds away from starting the second half of play here. And once again, I'll run through the scoring totals, or the scoring leaders for both sides. For Louisburg, it's Gage. He has 8, and Vogel with 6. For Frontenac, the wealth has been spread pretty well amongst the 5 starters and really nobody else. Blaine Baldwin has 7, Cooper Cleveland has 7, Jake Beckman with 5, Hayden Pyle with 4, and Noah Brooks with 4. All 5 starters are the only 5 in the scoring column. Final 5 seconds tick off the clock as we get ready to start the third quarter. And both teams' original starters back onto the court now. Baldwin with the ball as he crosses the half-court line, picked up by Vogel. Over in the left wing, it's Cooper Cleland. He finds Brooks. Brooks was looking for Pyle inside. A nice defense there by Rutherford. Instead, it's it's Brooks is going to be whistled on the charge. Kind of squared up and put a body into his man. Unfortunately, his man had his feet set, and that'll be Brooks's second personal foul, team's first of the half. Over, still behind the half-court line, it's Rutherford and Gage. Finally, Rutherford finds, or rather, Getterman and Gage. Getterman finds Rutherford, and then Gage attempted the distance three-pointer, could not connect. It's Cleland to Baldwin. Baldwin with a Euro step, driving inside, puts a shot up and cannot put it down, but he is fouled on the way up by number 10, that is Gage. And that's Gage's third personal. Baldwin once again connecting on his first shot from the free throw line. That makes him 6 for 7. Looking for 7 for 8. And he does get that second shot down. Now they have a 3-point lead, 29-26. Louisburg has yet to score here in the second half. Vogel to Rutherford. Rutherford with a Euro step. Everyone in the crowd is calling for a walk. But Gage picks it up, gets it to Getterman to Vogel. Vogel for three from the left side, and it is good. So Vogel with the first 3 points for Louisburg, and that ties the game up 29-29, 6:50. But Hayden Pyle barrels his way back in and gives the Raiders a 2-point advantage on that score. 31-29, and a broken up pass inside, and an intercepted pass is 2 turnovers, and they're going to call Beckman on the block. He stood still for 2 seconds. That is unreal. Getterman is going to be sent to the line, and Beckman's going to get his second personal foul. Beckman stood there for what seemed like an eternity and still picked up the charge and took an elbow to the face on top of everything else. Getterman will swish his first free throw. So a chance for Louisburg to tie this ball game up on the second free throw by Getterman. 6:32 left, 31-30 after the missed free throw. Beckman grabs the rebound, gives a little misdirection, tries to put a pretty strong shot off the glass and cannot connect, and it's Vogel with the ball. Beckman with an interception, or steal rather. And a push is going to be whistled on. They're going to call that on Weston Getterman. It's his second personal, I believe, yes. Beckman's taking it across the half-court line and ball in the hands of Cleland. Now Brooks, Pyle, top of the key. Pyle with a spin move, twists around and just barely gets it to tiptoe off of the rim. Unfortunate luck there on that bounce. Nice bounce pass to Rutherford. Rutherford gets it inside to Hill, and Hill connects for 2 points. Hill has 5 on the night as of now. 32-31. Louisburg now on top by 1 point. 5:30 left to go here in the third quarter. Rutherford driving down into the paint. And Noah Brooks is going to pick up a foul. I believe that'll be on Brooks. Yes, it will. That'll be Brooks' third personal foul, second of the half. And team's third of the half. First shot is up and missed by Rutherford. 5:30 left to go here in the third quarter of action, 32-31. Louisburg on top. Shazer's back into the ball game. He will give Gage a seat. Rutherford for his second shot opportunity is up and rolls around the rim. Kind of toilet bowls right out. 5:25 left in the third. Beckman with a stutter step gets his defender to jump up and gives a little bit of separation. Baldwin. Vogel nearing reach-in territory. Pass over the top to Cleland. Cleland now top of the key. And he finds Beckman in the left. Now Pyle in the left. Pyle with a stutter step. And it's Beckman for three. Baseline, barely even left the ground and knew it was going in the whole way through. Beckman with his first three-pointer of the second half. Shazer gets it to Vogel. Vogel turns the ball over. Beckman crosses the half-court line. It looks like Louisburg is in a 2-3 or maybe a Amiibo-style defense, cross between 2-3 and 3-2, where they just have one middleman that floats between the top and the bottom. But it's Baldwin inside to Cleland. Cleland makes it rattle around the rim and falls inside for 2 more points. Cooper Cleland, his first 2 of the second half. He has 9 on the night. Inside is Shazer, and Shazer just takes a powerful take to the rim. That's 2 points for him. Frontenac still leads by 2. Shazer has 6 after that made basket. Pyle on the left elbow gets it back to Franklin, but a lost ball on the ground, and Louisburg is just going to take it uncontested. That's Getterman, Weston Getterman, who took that free shot on their side of the court. Timeout taken by Coach Ryan Barcelona, and I believe it's going to be a full timeout, and it will be. So we're going to take it with them. A 60-second timeout. When we're back, we'll give you more third quarter action here in Frontenac, Kansas. You're listening to Radio X 103.5. A mishandled pass and kind of a swatted pass at that by Vogel. He's going to turn the ball over for the Frontenac Raiders. Hill's going to go back up strong on the transition and put it in for 2 points. And that'll put the Louisburg Wildcats up by 2. Hill has 4 points here in the second half, 7 on the night. Cooper Cleland gets the ball batted away from him by Vogel. Vogel tries the full court length. And it's going to roll out of bounds. Last touch by Frontenac, I guess. Getterman, Weston Getterman at that. We'll give the inbounds pass. It's 38-36. Frontenac trails by 2. And it's Vogel. He's going to take the 3 straight off the inbounds, and it's good for 3. Vogel has 12 points tonight. He leads all scorers. Inside pass to Franklin. No, it was to Cleland. Over the top to Vogel. Vogel drives the baseline. A little hook pass. They're going to whistle somebody on a push. Not sure who. They're going to call that on Jake Beckman. So that is Beckman's third personal foul. Team's fourth of the half. McCartney checks in and gives Beckman a rest. And the score is 41-36. Frontenac trailing by 5. Shot over the top. It's Vogel. Vogel at the top of the key. He's going to find Getterman. Getterman drives right and hands it off to Rutherford. Rutherford. And some heavy defense played on him by Cleland. Shot way high is no good, but Shazer gets the putback shot. It's good for 2. Shazer now has 8 points. Score is 43-36. It's kind of run away from Frontenac as of late. A 7-point advantage for the Wildcats. And now we get Frontenac giving the inbounds pass. It's Cooper Cleland. Cooper Cleland finds Baldwin, or tried to find Baldwin. It was intercepted by Vogel. Vogel steps out of bounds, and it's still Raider basketball. Cooper Cleland ready to give the inbounds once more. Lob over the top to Pyle. Pyle tries the 3 and cannot get it. Does not draw iron and thus rolls out of bounds. Louisburg ball. 2:06 left here in the third quarter, 43-36. Louisburg once again up by 7. The final 10 minutes of action, 10 minutes. 2 left in this one, 8 in the next quarter. Rutherford drives to the right, throws up an underhanded shot. I'm not entirely certain. They're going to call that on McCartney. It's a push. That's his second personal, team's 5th. Louisburg gives an over-the-top pass, and it's way back in the backcourt. They're not going to call a traveling violation on that, and they're not going to call a push either on Cooper Cleland. Cooper Cleland gets the turnover, and he's going to transition bucket for 2 points. Score is 43-38, now a 3-point advantage for the Wildcats. 1:40 left here in the third. Ball in the hands of Hill at the top of the key. He's picked up by McCartney. Now it's Shazer. Shazer's going to try a distance 3, and he knocks it down. Shazer has been on top of it here in this second half. He has 11 points on the night, 7 in the third quarter. Baldwin in the right wing. He's picked up by Gage. Frontenac sharing it around the perimeter, and an underhand pass from Cleland inside to Baldwin. Baldwin is stripped by Gage. Gage streaking down, now in the right wing, and some fancy footwork trying to evade Cleland. Getterman is upset at the call. He was whistled on double dribble. He thought it should have been a blocking violation against Blaine Baldwin. 46-38, it's a 6-point advantage for the Wildcats. 55 seconds left here in the third. Cleland from the right wing thought about the 3, will not take it. Instead, he'll dish it off to Story. Story out to the left. It's Baldwin. A no-look pass from Baldwin to McCartney. McCartney up off the glass. It rolls around the rim and cannot fall. And Louisburg will get the defensive rebound. A bounce pass to Gage. Gage from the baseline 3 and knocks it down. Gage has been one of the better scorers here throughout the duration of the game. He has 11. 20 seconds left. And Louisburg now leads 49-38. Over the top, it's McCartney. McCartney up off the glass, and this one does fall. 49-40. McCartney gets his first score of the game. Barreling down the other side of the court, there's going to be a foul, and that's going to be on McCartney as well. I believe that's his third personal. And Getterman was the one fouled. It was Weston Getterman. Getterman will take 2 shots from the free throw line. A chance to make this potentially an 11-point game. First shot is up and bounces off the front side of the iron. Cannot fall. Frontenac has done very well at staying out of foul trouble for the most part outside of McCartney. who has the most at 3. Second shot by Getterman falls. He has 5 points tonight. Baldwin takes a 3-point shot to end the third quarter, and it does not fall. At the end of 24 minutes of action, Louisburg leads by 10 points. It's 50-40. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and when we're back, we will bring you the final quarter of regulation basketball here in Frontenac, Kansas. You're listening to ESPN 1007.com and Radio X 103.5, The Evolution. Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas. And Frontenac on the attack as we have Cooper Cleland now to Jake Beckman over in the right wing. Cleland with a nice recovery there off of the askew pass. And that's Cleland top of the key once more. Louisburg in a 2-3 zone defense. Now Beckman in the left wing. Beckman has not tried very many distance shots today, but instead he has made an effort to get inside the paint. That time he does once more and can't connect. It's Shazer driving into the lane. Brooks is going to be whistled on a blocking foul. I believe that's his third personal. No, that's his fourth personal. It was his fourth personal. So Brooks probably going to be taking a seat for much of the remainder of this game. They need his big body in there, and Shazer is going to knock down his and one attempt. So Shazer now leads all scorers with 14. He has done a great job of scoring from the charity stripe. Noah Brooks. No, I'm sorry, that's Pyle. Came down with the rebound and was fouled on the way. 53-40 is the score after that. Shazer 2 and 1. Cooper Cleland launches it over the top into the hands of Baldwin. Beckman takes a dribble to evade Vogel, back to Baldwin. Raiders trail by 13, 53-40, 6:35 left here in regulation. To the right is Cleland. Cleland with a couple of shot fakes to Brooks. Brooks to Beckman. And a nice pass from Baldwin inside to Brooks. It's going to be last touch by Frontenac as the shot was no good and it rolled out of bounds. So Louisburg will take possession of the ball. 53-40, 6:15 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Gage with the ball. Now to Hill. Hill drives baseline and tries the shot. They're going to whistle perhaps another foul on Brooks. No, they're going to call that on Hayden Pyle. Fortunately, that's just his second personal foul. Team's 8th of the half, however. After that first made free throw by Hill, Louisburg leads 54-40, a 14-point advantage. Second free throw, no good, rebounded by Brooks. Cooper Cleland taking the ball up court. It's Hayden Pyle. He drives the baseline. He's met by a couple of defenders. Shot is blocked, and it's turned over. Vogel takes the ball now, just nearly slipping out of his sneakers. And it's Shazer who launches a three-pointer. And I was not ready for him to be the one launching threes. He's one of the bigger guys out on the court, but he does it nonetheless. And he has 17 points on the night. Like I said, this is a very experienced and a team that has already played 3 games thus far. Frontenac just playing their 1. Like Cooper Cleveland was tripped up and kind of hurt. He's slow to get up and has not yet. Score is 57-40. Louisburg on top by 17 points. 5:33 left to go here in regulation. Vogel was fouled by Cooper Cleveland. That's Cleveland's second personal, and Vogel sinks his free throw. It's a 1-and-1 opportunity, so Vogel will get one more chance. That was, in fact, Cleveland's second. Missed the next one, so it's still 58-40. 18-point advantage now for the Wildcats. And they are in their 2-3 zone defense. Cleveland to Beckman. Beckman with a stutter step and a crow hop. Gets it over the top, and no backboard necessary. Beckman for 2 points. He has 10 on the night so far. Has done a great job of taking control of the ball. Not so much scoring every chance he gets. But he does drive it inside, and he gives Frontenac an opportunity at second chance points when he doesn't make the shot. Timeout was called. It's a full timeout by Louisburg. We'll take it with them. You're listening to ESPN 1007.com and Radio X 103.5 The Evolution. Back in 1 minute. Vogel has the ball and takes it inside the paint, puts it up for 2 points right as we come back from the break. Vogel's been on a scoring spree here in the third and fourth quarter. He has 9 in the second half, 15 on the night. Brooks is down, and it looks like he's hurt pretty seriously. He's babying the right elbow. It does not look good from a distance. Maybe it's the right shoulder. And he might be concussed or something. He's slow to get back up for sure. But he finally does indeed, and he's going to get helped off. No, he's babying the right foot. It does not look good the way he's walking off the court. But he is walking off the court under his own power, which is definitely a good sign. It's a big kid standing at 6'7". He's a major contributor to Frontenac's offense. And Frontenac will miss that size, so he heads to the bench. We are back in action. Baldwin thought about the three-pointer in the far baseline. And Pyle, or rather Shazer, is going to pick up a foul guarding Pyle. Cooper Cleland gets it out to Pyle. Now Pyle top of the key. Works inside and finds Beckman. Beckman finds Baldwin. Baldwin with a pump fake. Puts it up and off the glass. And Shazer's going to pick up another foul. That's Shazer's second personal, but both of them have come here midway through the fourth quarter. So, I'm sorry, that's his third personal. Two of which have come late in the fourth quarter. Frontenac still not in the single bonus, so they will have to take it up from the top of the key off the inbounds. As Pyle drove inside and could not quite get it inside the basket. And Louisburg grabs the rebound and gets back after it. Gage over to Rutherford. Rutherford in the right wing, and he hands it off to Vogel. Vogel is chased down by Baldwin. Baldwin trying to take the ball away, and he's going to be whistled on a hold. Blaine Baldwin. That's his first personal foul, which is great. He definitely has rebounded from that early foul trouble that he had in the first game of the season. Vogel sinks both of his free throws, and that brings the score. That's a 20-point ball game at this point, 62-42. Vogel with 11 points in the second half alone, 17 overall. Gage to Vogel in the full-court transition off the steal, and Vogel gets two more. And Frontenac will take a timeout. I'm going to see if it's going to be a 30 or a full. It is a full, so we'll take a 30-second timeout, send it back to the station for 30 seconds. You're listening to ESPN 1007.com and Radio X 103.5. We're back here in Frontenac, Kansas. Heath Adkins alongside Amber Atkins, our scoreboard manager, and our cameraman, Austin Souter. Jacob Ryan back in the studio, pushing all the buttons and keeping us on the air. Inbounds to Hensley. Hensley at the top of the key, met by the 2-3 defense of Louisburg. Off in the right wing, a bounce pass is stolen away by Gage. Gage streaking up the court, and a right-hand layup from the left side. Again, a little unorthodox, but it works nonetheless. It's not how you're supposed to do it, but it scores all the same. Bounce or skip pass over the top of the of everybody. Got it over to Hensley in the right wing. Foul on the floor. It's going to turn into a 1-and-1. Rutherford with that foul, his third personal, team seventh. That sends Frontenac into the single bonus. Shot is up and no good for Hensley. Hill gets the rebound and gets to Gage. Gage to Vogel. Vogel to Rutherford. Rutherford inside to Hill, back out. Vogel cuts inside. Rutherford looking for him, but can't find anything past Hensley. Now it's Gage, top of the key, working against Bridwell. Cale Bridwell in the game for the first time in a little while. Pass over the top to try to, kind of a get out of jail card, or pass rather. Now it's Hill at the top of the key, finds Vogel in the left. Vogel drives left, finds Shazer. Shazer for three, and it rocks off the front, the near side of the rim. And grabbing the rebound was Story. Story now top of the key. Finds Hensley. And Gage is going to steal it away, but right back at it was Hensley. The Louisburg crowd wanting a foul, but there's no reason to. McCartney bangs it in from three-point land. He's got 5 points on the night. Driving inside is Hensley with a reverse layup behind the head. And that looked like it almost went in from my point of view. That would have been truly a circus shot. We saw one earlier by Beckman, but that one would have been next level. Gage brings it up and hands it off to Rutherford at the top of the key. Now it's Shazer. And coming up is Bridwell to guard Gage. A little bit of a size mismatch, but nonetheless, that's the way it is. Vogel and McCartney get tied up on the rebound. Possession arrow is going to be in favor of Frontenac. Hessong checks into the game for Frontenac, as does Sieber. Score is 66-45. Not a ton of scoring has gone on here late in the game with 1:30 left to go. Over in the left wing, now top of the key is Story. Story loses control of the ball, falls out of bounds, and I'm not sure. They're going to call it still Frontenac ball. 66-45. It is out of Frontenac's hands at this point, and all starters are on the bench. Lob over the top. That is Bridwell at the top of the key. Down the right wing is Story. Gets it back to Sieber. Hensley, top of the key. They're just kind of rotating outside the perimeter, not really getting any penetration. And a blocking foul is going to be whistled, I believe, on number... I'm not sure who they're going to whistle that on. They'll say it's on Johnson. No, it's Kessler. Kessler for Louisburg picks up that foul, his first personal. Shot is up and in by Kel Bridwell, his first point of the game. He's played several minutes, and this is the first time he's been able to find the bucket. 66-46 as Bridwell sinks his second. So 66-47, 19-point lead for the Wildcats. Final minute of action, and Frontenac is in a full court press with their second stringers. Driving in and giving a good good baseline post move was Kessler. Drawing a foul is Mangini for Frontenac, so Kessler will be sent to the line. His first shot attempt from the charity stripe today. First shot is up and in. Kessler scores his first points of the ball game. That brings the score 67-47, 20-point lead for the Wildcats. Second shot is underway. Shot is up and rattles off the left side, no good. Ball is picked up by Sieber. Down low on the baseline to Hensley. Hensley rolls around the perimeter, tries to find it inside, back to Sieber. Cannot, and he lets it back out to Kubler. Inside pass to Sieber, rather on top of the key pass. Sieber tried to get it inside to the cutting man, and instead it falls out of bounds. Frontenac will turn it over on that possession. And the Wildcats perfectly executed fast break or press, full court press break. And the smallest guy on the court ends up being the one to score the ball. That was Vos. His first points of the night. 69-47, final 3 seconds A three is launched up and no good by Hesson. And that's the ball game after a complete 32 minutes of play. Final score, Louisburg 69, Frontenac 47. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, I'll take you through the scoring summary and talk about some of the upcoming broadcasts here on the MyTown Media Radio Network. You're listening to Radio X 103.5 and watching live on ESPN1007.com. Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas, as we begin our post-game show. Final score, Louisburg 69, Frontenac 47. It was a second-half effort for sure by Louisburg. At the end of the first half, Frontenac led by 1 point, and Louisburg took off in the second half. Namely, it was Shazer that just could not miss. He was not the leading scorer, but he is definitely one of the leaders in the second half between him and Vogel. I'll run you down the scoring summary here before we talk about the upcoming schedule here on the MyTown Media Radio Network. For Louisburg, leading all scorers, it was Vogel with 19. He had 6 in the first half and 13 in the second half. Then Getterman had 5 on the night. Vos had 2 late in the fourth. Gage ended with 13. A very impactful player despite his size. He was definitely not the largest. He was the smallest person on the court at all times, but he definitely made his presence known with 13 points. Hill was definitely a defensive presence more than anything, but at the end of the day, he did score 7 points to help in that victory. Benjamin Getterman ended with 3 points, did not score at all in the second half. And Shazer came alive in the second half with 13 points, 13 points in the second half, 4 in the first, totaling out to 17. And Rutherford ended with a solid 4 points. For Frontenac, leading all Raiders was Jake Beckman. He had 10 points. Behind him was Baldwin and Cleland, both with 9. Bridwell had 2, rather. McCartney with 5. He had a 3-pointer and 2 free throws. Hayden Pyle had 6, and Noah Brooks with 4. Noah Brooks did more with his hands defensively than anything else offensively. He did not get a whole lot of great looks at the free throw line. He did not get a whole lot of great looks at all from the field. That's a look at how the scoring went down here in this ball game. Take a look at some of the upcoming broadcasts here on the MyTown Media Radio Network. Today it was Baxter Springs at Erie, Cherryville at Columbus, Galena at Lamar, and Riverton at Oswego. Thursday will be Lacine Prairie View here at Frontenac. I will have that call, and that should be a good matchup. Frontenac, I believe, got the sweep last year, but both of these teams will be teams that did not lose a whole lot from graduation and will be returning a lot of experience. Columbus at Riverton will be on Friday the 14th, as well as Colgan at Baxter Springs, and Shelby White will have the call for you there. Frontenac boys versus Neosho at Webb City. Shelby White and I will have the call for that game. Girard at Altamont on Monday the 17th, and Tuesday the 18th, Frontenac will be at Riverton. I will have the call for that game here on Radio X 103.5 as well as ESPN1007.com. Galena at Baxter Springs, Iola at St. Mary's Colgan. Shelby White will have that call on Fox Sports 1340 AM. That's about it. We haven't seen my buddy Joe down on the sideline. I didn't know he was a Frontenac or a Louisburg supporter, but he is indeed, and he's heading off. But special thanks to Jacob Ryan back in studio, keeping us on the air. Again, final score, Louisburg 69, Frontenac 47. For my scoreboard technician, Amber Atkins, as well as Austin Souter, our cameraman, I'm Heath Atkins, and signing off. Thanks for listening, everybody, and have a great rest of the night. And we will be back with more Frontenac Raider basketball this Thursday here against Lacine. You are listening to Radio X 103.5 as well as ESPN1007.com.